Ana al ticheni lanetzach, Koel Elohai uvarech et amatecha, Chazkeni v'anseni, oti ve'et ishi, v'negadel et ha'eladot asher noldu lanu, liratcha v'la'avdecha be'emet, v'lalechet orach mesharim. Shmor et ha'eladot harakot b'chol darkehen, chonen otan de'a bina v'haskel, v'tein chalkan v'toratecha, v'tikdashena et shimcha hagadol, v'tiena l'meshivot nefesh lanu v'sevatenu. Va'ani tfilati lecha Adonai et ratzon, Elohim berov chasdecha, aneni be'emet yishecha.
Yisimech Elohim kesara v'kar achel v'lecha, Yivach Adonai yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem echad. Simchat Elohim kesara v'kar achel v'lecha, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem echad. Amen.
Our daughters were born last Thursday afternoon, and so I was still in the maternity ward on Shabbat Parshat Truma. As I do whenever I cannot make it to shul, I lay in the Parsha aloud. Matching, a word I accidentally misread as te'omim, twins. But the pasuk that most resonated for me was the description of the kruvim on either side of the kaporet. V'hayu hakruvim porsei chenafayim lemala, sochechim b'chanfeihem al hakaporet, ufneihem ish el achiv, el hakaporet yihiyu pnei hakruvim. As I watched my two angelic daughters face towards one another, with their arms swaying above their heads, I felt myself in that most holy of holy places between the Kruvim, where the divine presence communicated with the people of Israel. V'no'adti lechasham, v'dibarti itcha me'al hakaporet miben shnei hakruvim, asher al aron ha'edut, et kol asher atzaveotcha el b'nei Yisrael. The space between the Kruvim was the point of contact between the divine and the human. For me, the experience of giving birth to our twin daughters also afforded rare and intimate access to the divine, the Borei Olam, the creator of all living things. As I lay in the hospital between my two daughters learning Parshat Truma, I was reminded that the Mishkan offered a new way of meeting God in the world and a new avenue for religious expression, which are gifts that our daughters have already offered us as well. The Torah teaches that the faces of the Kruvim were turned toward one another. To my astonishment, this is also how Liav and Tagel sleep. Ever since we returned from the hospital, we have been placing them side by side in our pack-and-play crib. Regardless of how we position them, within a few moments, they always turn their heads towards one another. Sometimes one baby opens her eyes and peers intently at her sister. Other times they look into each other's eyes before sinking into sleep. But they are almost always facing each other, each somehow reassured and calmed by the presence of her sister. Turning to one another in friendship, support, reassurance, and love. The image of angelic presences speaks to me on another level as well. This past week, Daniel and I spent many intense hours trying to name our daughters, as some of you know. In so doing, we were reminded of a midrash about Jacob's struggle with the angel in Parshat Vayishlach. Jacob asked the angel his name, Hagida na shmecha, and the angel responds, Lama zeh tish'al lishmi. The Midrash in Breshit Rabbah connects this verse to another encounter between a human and angel that appears in Sefer Shoftim. Shimshon's father Manoach asks the angel his wife has encountered for the angel's name, and the angel responds, Lama zet tisha lishmi v'hu peli. The Midrash explains that angels change their names based on the particular mission they are sent to accomplish at any given moment. And so I imagine that in choosing a name for our daughters, we are also, in some sense, charging them with a unique mission in the world. I have felt this past week that so long as our daughters were still unnamed, every mission remained open to them. I imagined thousands of winged angels hovering over us, each representing a different name we might choose, and each angel beating its wings in hopeful anticipation that perhaps that angel might be the one whose mission matches the name we choose for our child. This amassing of angelic presences may explain why the first week of a newborn's life is such a time of intense connection to an otherworldly realm. The moment our daughters are named, like the moment when the box with Schrodinger's cat is opened, all the angels fly off, leaving just two, one for each of our girls. Perhaps the two angels who remained were the same angels that accompanied the namesakes of each of our daughters, Daniel's father and my maternal grandmother. My Savta, Gila Rubin, for whom Tagel is named, was a vibrant, headstrong woman who grew up in Brooklyn but spent her entire adult life as the Rebbitzin at the Wanta Jewish Center on Long Island. Still, the place in the world where she was happiest was Yerushalayim, where she and my Zaidi spent many sabbaticals attending Parshat HaShavua Shiurim, just as Daniel and I love to do. Together they took their children on their first family trip here in June 1967, where Savta enjoyed showing off her biblical Hebrew in all the most modern contexts. Having grown up with Zionist, Hebraist parents and grandparents, Hebrew was in fact her first language. I was fortunate to share with her a love not just of Hebrew, but also of crossword puzzles and literary novels. I always knew which books were Savta's because she wrote in pen in the margins. I dared use only pencil. And because the pages were pervaded by her distinctive perfume, which I can still smell to this day, exactly 18 years and 1 week after her death. We hope Tagel will draw from her spirit and embody her strength, her vibrancy, her love of language and literature, and her attachment to the Jewish people.
My father, Chuck Feldman, Alav HaShalom, would have rejoiced at this simcha, and his absence, which we feel so keenly today, is all that impinges on this wonderful occasion. A consummate family man, he knew that every simcha must be celebrated to the fullest. Our girls are the first grandchildren born to the family since our Saba left us, and so it is appropriate that the first of our daughters, Liav, bears a name that pays tribute to his memory. Liav. To me, my father was a model of commitment to family, community, and Am Yisrael. A devoted physician, he was also a leader of the Jewish community in northern New Jersey, especially in the realm of Torah education. He was a trusted advisor whose empathy and concern for others made him beloved to so many. He was a wonderful, charming man, and he relished every moment with his family. As my mother, Meshliv Ad 120, holds our beautiful Liav before us, we feel Dad's bracha upon us. Along with Ilana Savta Gila and our other departed grandparents, Zaidi Mel Rubin, Grandma Betty and Grandpa Joe Feldman, Baba Sally and Zaidi Isaac Levenstein, Dad is surely looking down upon us from the Yeshiva Shamala, smiling his radiant smile with his characteristic twinkle in his eye, as we welcome these two angelic girls into the family he was so proud to build. To quote the words of the Megillah, which we will read next week, it is our tefillah that zichro lo yasuf mizar'o. It is also my happy lot in these days of Purim to offer a few words of shavach and hodah to all those responsible for this mishteh v'simcha. First, to our parents, whose love and support accompanies us at every step as our family grows. My mom, Baba, arrived with her impeccable timing and inimitable grace just as our twins were born. Mom, you are always selfless in offering to do anything and everything on our behalf, including buying now a second crib for our home. You instill in us a sense of gratitude for all that we are blessed to experience. Ilana's parents, Savta and Saba Kershan, have been our neighbors now for the past few weeks, helping us prepare for the twins' arrival, caring for Matan, and offering all kinds of help, love, and support with characteristic good cheer and attention to detail. Thank you for all you have done for us during this special period, including reading the name dictionary that one last time. We are also pleased to celebrate with all of you, and we extend our love and our love and greetings to the proud great-grandparents in Princeton, New Jersey, Grandma Phyllis and Grandpa Jerry Kershan Shevalu L'Chaim Aruchim. We also recognize the endless generosity of my sister, Esti Agus, who along with Elliot Sur and their adorable children are extraordinary role models of chesed to us. Esti sends us food, clothes, babysitters, and everything we could possibly need. Liav and Tagel prepare to be spoiled. As Matan has already discovered, you will quickly learn that visiting your cousins in Renana is our family's equivalent of Disneyland, if not Gan Eden. We are also deeply grateful to our other siblings, including Mindy, who was here last week, and Naamit, who spent hours and hours in late-night phone consultations about matters medical and nomenclatural. Michael and Nira, Joe and Dana, Mindy and Eric, Naamit and Michael, Ariella and Leo, and Eitan, we feel your love from afar, and we can't wait to introduce you to your nieces. Finally, to Ilana, I can only express my endless love and admiration. Everyone here knows how remarkable a woman you are, but only the children and I witness the full force of your creative genius day to day. You brought these children, these beautiful girls, into the world with determination, intensity, and even your characteristic wit. Who else would have been offering divrei Torah in the delivery room between contractions to the nurses, the midwife, the anesthesiologist? With the blessed arrival of these two babies wrapped up in their little scrolls here, may it be said that we commit our love to each other anew. Kimu ma shekiblu kvar. It is the supreme privilege of my life to be your husband, partner, and father to our children. Thank you all for joining us today. Chag Purim Sameach to all. Enjoy the Seudat Hodaya and Mazal Tov.